Hey guys, how are we doing? CryptoInsightUK here, bringing you back another YouTube video. So today I'm just going to report on a few generic things, and then I'm going to give you my stance on the market. We talked about the potential ultra bull case yesterday. I said this isn't my base case. I was just showing you possibilities as to what could make that happen. And then today, start using international transactions as of next week. The official date is the 1st of September. People are mixed in the comments, and to be honest, I think it's massively bullish. I've said on short TikTok and Instagram this morning, like imagine this in like 2017, 2021, we could only speculate on countries using crypto. We didn't have an ETF. We're now getting worldwide like recognition of cryptocurrency in general, and now whether you like them or not, Russia and potentially the Brics nations, I presume they're going to be trading with. I'd have thought China, India, maybe. Obviously, the Brics nations of Russia, South Africa, China, India. There's one more. Brazil, obviously, duh, B for Brics. And obviously with the other countries that we talked about potentially joining, like Saudi Arabia, Argentina, these sorts of countries. The thing is, the point is, like money is going to start flowing through crypto. Volume is going to start flowing through networks, and real life value is going to start getting moved on chain. Yes, settlements are the first thing, but then we're going to see tokenized assets on chain. Obviously, seeing that Ripple, if you're an XRP fan, Ripple are massively moving towards the like tokenization of assets on the XRPL. And it makes sense. It makes sense. Like, I don't know how they'll trade or what they'll trade. If I was going to speculate, if I was Russia, for example, I probably would be holding some Bitcoin in terms of having it more of like a hedge and like a safety asset. But you probably wouldn't use Bitcoin to transact in general. Maybe they do. Like, if they do, and Bitcoin market cap expands, like it's great for crypto. If they use other things like stablecoins, for example, they're going to have to run that on rails, like maybe ETH. Maybe we'll see other stablecoins on different networks, like maybe Sol, maybe Ripple's RLUSD. Like, who knows what the actual usage is going to be. They're going to probably... There also was speculation that they're creating a Brics stablecoin, or a Brics currency, I think was the word. Maybe they make their own rail, but I think it will still interact with crypto in one way or another, and like be able to cross chain, probably be built on top of something else. So there's a lot of if, buts and maybes, but the big point is big economic powerhouses are starting to move at least some transactions onto the cryptocurrency rails. I don't think that can be understated. I really don't. Then the next tweet that I actually retweeted this morning was crypto is the currency of AI. And so we've got countries adopting and experimenting with crypto. And then the future, in my opinion, or one of the big aspects of our future going forward, will probably be AI and robotics. And I said, people need to grasp this concept. Machines and machine minds will pay each other very soon. Maybe they already are. They need something without jurisdiction and active 24/7. If you can see there'll be a robotic or AI revolution, you should see that it will be powered by blockchain. And I think that's really important for a lot of people to remember and understand. I think that blockchain provides the rails for freedom of transaction, essentially, and AI and machines are going to need that if they want to freely transact around the world and provide us with potential information that we need or services that they're going to provide us with. I just think that we're on the verge of a complete revolution in the world. I've said this many times to friends and families, like, we're this close to something massive changing, and I don't know what the massive change is. Is it a complete new financial system, a collapse of the old? Maybe. Do we kick the can down the road far enough that GDP can be replaced by AI? Is the revolution that we don't work anymore for money? Is the revolution that we have a war? Is it that we shut down the internet? Like, who knows what? Like, I don't think that, like, all these are, it's complete speculation, but I just feel like we're on the edge of something. And I say shut down the internet because who knows what AI is going to be like, robotics will be like, who knows what's actually going to happen, who's going to get to the top, the first in the race for AI and robotics and stuff. So we're on the edge of something huge, but I think in most, if not all of my cases, crypto probably comes out pretty well, if not the front runner of the new financial of a new financial. So I don't want to say the new because I don't want to just expect that this one collapses. I don't think that's necessarily definitely what's going to happen. I just think it's a possibility. But I also think if we kick GDP down the road for long enough, so we might use crypto to pay off debt, or we also might start to be able to pay off debt with robotics as human productive units, or replacing productive units in humanity. But then going back towards crypto again now is like, I retweeted this morning. This is from Axel Adler. I've not actually seen him before on Twitter, so I don't know anything about him. But he was saying the supply of long-term holders is increasing, which means they're not selling. Short-term holders are actively aging and transitioning into the long-term holder cohort. This is a good signal. As you can see, when basically long-term holders or like capitulate, or then that's when we are normally at our lows, and then as long-term holders increase, it normally helps us push into highs. Basically, it's like showing where long-term holders are taking profit, like long-term holders taking profit at the top in the last cycle, some long-term holders taking profit on the bounce just out of January into like February, March time, 2023. Long-term holders taking profit up near the highs, and then long-term holders now starting to increase again as we're at these lows. So people are basically hodling the Bitcoin that they've been buying. Could this be because of the influx of like ETFs, for example? Potentially. So that's the main three topics I wanted to talk about. In terms of price action, I haven't got too much to say. We've been looking at what potentially could happen this week. We're still in that in-between period. I said if we break out, I'm just going to sit on the sidelines. I'm still sitting on the sidelines. I think there's a high possibility Bitcoin at least comes down into this area at some point. But then I also think there's a large chance that we push up into this zone above us as well, potentially do that first. Do we sweep some liquidity here down to about 61,780 and then head up to that 67,000 range for Bitcoin? I honestly don't know. Open interest is high, but not like historic. Like, it's not as high as it was even back here at 69,000 for Bitcoin. It's nowhere near as high as that. We're about as high as we were, well, in the same period last time, when we did have a breakdown from this level in open interest last time when we came in and set the low, obviously at 49,000. And I think there's still a chance that we do that. There's a lot of liquidity down below. I don't know if it's going to load. There's a lot of liquidity down here. If we zoom out down at the 46,000 region, I've said that as well. This is why I'm on the sidelines right now. When I say on the sidelines, I mean in terms of my trading bag. My personal bag is it is just sitting in spot, so I'm just waiting. We're looking for some signals. Maybe that comes from something like the countries trading crypto, or something happens in the US markets, or something happens in the crypto markets in general. Like, there's a lot of potentials out there, but all the crypto space is kind of looking the same. This is Link, for example, Chainlink, altcoins. The weekly, they've all been like pulling back on the weekly RSI. Same with the charts. They've broken out, they've back tested their previous resistance as support, and then waiting for that RSI breakout. We can go through pretty much any alt. I've just been clicking through this morning. They pretty much all at the same. Litecoin holding support, waiting for that breakout on the weekly. Moonbeam's another one. This looks quite a good chart, to be honest. GLMR has set a slightly lower low, taking some liquidity here, but again waiting for that weekly breakout. Apecoin, even, for example, has a bullish divergence with the RSI setting a higher low and the price action setting a lower low. Just broke out, but again we're really just holding behind resistance here. You could say we've broken out, but there's nothing substantial yet because we haven't seen these big candles that we want to see. Algorand's going to be the same, just a little bit like Apecoin. We've had that little breakout, but again, nothing convincing. It's more of a fake out at this point. AVAX is similar to Algorand, holding that support. Look here, wicked arm, got some liquidity, holding the support, trying to push out, but again, we haven't really broken any sort of key resistance. They all look very, very similar in this sense. The only things that do look a little bit different is like Aave, ETH, DeFi. Like Aave looks pretty good, not gonna lie. Sushi's something that I've had my eye on because it looks like it's about to break bullish as well with the RSI, but again sitting in the same position. I only say that because of like Aave looks quite aggressive here, and Sushi's in the same sort of bucket as Aave, being a DeFi system on ETH. Cardano looks the same. Like everything looks the same, pretty much, more or less the same. And obviously we cover XRP a lot, and I'm going to just take all the drawings off. XRP does look different, but realistically we just cannot break this resistance at the minute between 60 and 66 cent. Really, that's what all these weekly closes have. Look at all these wicks on the weekly, but we're holding support well. We came back, we've pulled liquidity from this candle here. We do look good, but we just look like we need a catalyst, and until then we'll probably just chop or a break. So I don't know what there might be no catalyst. It might just be price action, that like Bitcoin might just decide that actually it's time, and we start to push up, because Bitcoin, look, it's leading the pack in sort of that sort of pattern as well. So let's just get these drawings back on. But if we look at Bitcoin from like a zoomed out perspective, and you have this like widening descending wedge, we've came down and touched the bottom of, and we're now in the middle of resistance where we are now. If we get a breakout and some catalysts, can we break above? Potentially. We've got liquidity on both sides, so like we're just indecisive. And when you're indecisive, you don't trade, chop yourself out of bags. What I'm personally doing is DCAing or buying any spot assets if I want to be adding to my bags. Like I bought a little bit of XRP recently. I actually think Flare looks pretty good. I bought some more Flare recently as well. But pretty similarly, we've had potentially a wave 1 here, wave 2 correction. The RSIs look like holding a higher level right now on top of key weekly support for price action. So we're just holding the line, guys. Don't do anything too rash here. Don't go and bet your bags. Don't worry about being bored. It's a bit of a boring period. Like I feel bored at the minute, and everything looks the same. We're either teetering for a big breakout, or we're going to just keep chopping / correct for a while. I believe there's a big breakout on the cards. Does it come today, tomorrow, this week? Maybe. Does it come next week? Maybe. But I don't think it will be too long, as I spoke about in my previous videos. Until that time, you have to be cautious that we could pull back for Bitcoin into like the areas that I've marked just to take liquidity. But nothing's confirmed yet. We're into the second day of the week. We had a great end to last week. Alts did pretty well over the weekend across the board. Like on Saturday, I think it was, they had like quite a big day. So let's see, fingers crossed. If we get some positive price action, we could see something exciting for crypto. Until then, guys, don't do anything too clever, and stay safe out there. Just use this time to research. Dollar cost average, it could be our last chance to be buying alts, but also we could have a little bit longer. So don't like deploy the whole bag, but definitely be adding if you see some good opportunities. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If you did, please subscribe and share it with a friend. Thank you for tuning in. Peace up, A-Town Downs, Crypto Insight UK would say.